Buddy, so let's talk about where's the money, okay? So I've been going for a minute, but I'm back now. Sit the fuck back down. Seems like everybody out here, Hollywood. So it's like that now, all right? So let's talk about this thing. Now, obviously, if you don't know, that's a Logic lyric, but it seemed like it definitely kind of fits with the situation right now. So like everybody on YouTube is trying to go into the territories of other parts of the entertainment business. Some people want to be actors, some people want to be directors, some people want to be musicians, some people get into television shows, some people go into lead movies. The problem is, there's nothing wrong with YouTube ambition nonetheless, or just ambition just in general, but you have to have execution. Without execution, it's kind of worthless to have ambition sometimes. Unfortunately, but that's the truth. So let's talk about King Bach and his new movie. Where is the fucking money? The thing about where's the money is, it definitely feels like King Bach needs to work on his acting. And I'm actually quite surprised they kind of gave him the lead role here, because nothing I have seen in this guy, whether it be from his skits or any of the small parts in these comedies, actually seem like this dude deserved to kind of be the lead guy. It just doesn't come across that way. In the movie itself, I think King Bach tries a little bit too hard. Now, he's not trying that hard. There are moments where he tries to be a little bit more serious, and I think actually does work. But then there's other times where he actually tries to be funny, and then it just kind of feels like every scene that he is in feels like a skit that he does on his YouTube channel. And just like his skits, they seem like they tend to go on a little bit too long. I think King Bach is best used as a supporting character like Logan Paul in here, and I'm sure people love Logan Paul, but he's kind of shit in this movie for the most part. But he plays his small part well, and I think that's actually one of the better things of this movie that is kind of a big pain in the ass. Now, the biggest negative you can say about this movie is, simply put, it feels like an empty movie theater feel. And in case you don't know what that actually is, it's basically where you kind of go into a movie, right, and there's nobody really around, so you just hear nothing but dead silence. It feels like the movie's kind of going at a slow pacing. There's nothing really happening. There's no energy to the film whatsoever, and that's kind of what we have here with Where's the Money. It's just, overall, not a very... the pacing just feels like it's very dull and feel like it's not going anywhere. About 20 minutes into this thing, maybe even 30 minutes, because I'm a nice guy, you start to kind of know where this movie's going, and that's pretty much nowhere. And that's legitimately the truth. Now, obviously, the basic plot is trying to find the money, whatever it may be, and the movie seems like it almost doesn't give a shit about trying to stay on the path of the plot just to begin with. I feel like the movie does kind of venture off into a couple other things, and sometimes it gets right back on track, but it seems like it doesn't really care. Like, the plot is so thin as like a Metro card that I feel like it never really goes back to what the whole point of this movie is, because I feel like there's nothing really to talk about. Now, the movie does try to add in some serious things or some dramatic moments when talking about, and I thought it was actually pretty good, but talking about getting kids off the streets, or dealing with family sticks together and hard times and shit. And I think they actually do a decent enough job. The problem is, when some of these characters are in some of these dramatic moments, you don't give a fuck. Why? Because there's no character development on King Bach or Cat Graham. And I'm starting to feel bad for Cat Graham, because first she fucking had to carry Tupac this year, and now she got to carry King Bach, just to begin with. King Bach, as I said, he's not a leading guy yet. Maybe he will be, but at the end of the day, I feel like he's just the typical comedian that tries to aim for laughs instead of trying to make his character actually feel real and less of a just a funny guy nonetheless. Now, this movie does have some interesting people in here for supporting roles. Method Man, Terry Crews, they could be funny for the most part, but they definitely kind of seem like they're wasted just doing a very typical thing. This movie could kind of be summed up into two type of categories, either racist jokes or, simply put, cursing. That's really it. There's really nothing else more than that. And if you're a fan of King Bach's humor, then congratulations, you might actually really enjoy this. But at the end of the day, this actually does feel a little bit better than Late in America for the most part. The problem is, as I said, the movie doesn't really have that well of a structure, and you can kind of tell where the shit is going, as I said, and that's really it. There's nothing really more you can really say about this movie. All right, one white guy kind of licks the pussy hairs of a rat. Yeah, I bet that got your attention now. But either way, I don't really know what to say about this movie. I think that's the problem with some of these YouTube stars, is that they think they can actually do this, but they don't really go through the training. They just kind of get a script and kind of do it. And you probably be like, well, it's not King Bach's fault the movie shit. No, it kind of is. He's an executive producer. So, homeboy's moving up in the world, But just to begin with, this thing does nothing for anybody. It's an hour and 25 minutes, but it feels like about an hour and 40 minutes. Now, nonetheless, it's watchable. There's a lot of worse comedies out there, and I use that term loosely, comedy, but there's never really any moments for you to kind of connect with any of these characters because they're trying to get the money. Like, where's the money is literally, that sentence is the only thing that carries this film really through. There's really nothing more to it than that. And honestly, you don't need to be asking for where's his money. You need to be asking for where's your money? Where's your refund? Because clearly King Bach didn't really give a shit about the script. He didn't ask for the script. Where's the money? That's basically it. Overall, this is a very decent film. That some people might actually get some enjoyment out of it, but otherwise, I suggest you just kind of stay away or see something that's very popular in the movie theaters now, or, you know, jerk off. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.
Where's the money, Lebowski? You want that money, Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.